Hey folks, it's time for the quote of the day, and today we're going to continue this trend of essentially geniuses. If you were born at the beginning of January, apparently genius just happens to follow you. I don't know why. We started this whole trend of quoting someone on their birthday in like October 11th or 12th of last year, and I've continued it this far. I'm really proud of this streak that I've got going. But over the past couple of days, we've hit just genius after genius. It started with Isaac Asimov on the second. Then we went to J.R.R. Tolkien on the third, and then yesterday, the fourth was Sir Isaac Newton. I mean, come on, how do I follow that up? Well, I follow that up with a gentleman that is again a genius, an absolute genius in his field. And if you know who he is, you 100% agree. There's nobody that actually knows who he is that disagrees with this. Everybody knows that he's a fucking genius. And there's two things that separate him from this other group, from the pack, as it were, and that is first of all the medium with which he chooses to convey, his art, his dream, his whatever it may be, whatever you want to call it. But more important than that, the main differentiation would be that he's alive. He's still the other three have already shuffled off this mortal coil, but he is still alive, old but alive. Today is the birthday of the absolute fucking legend in anime, Hayao Miyazaki. Today is his birthday. Now, if you don't know who Miyazaki is and you're not sure what I'm talking about, you probably have, if not heard of or seen his movies. I mean, you really take this time after this video, turn off your phone and go look to where you can watch a Miyazaki film. A Studio Ghibli film is another way that people would term it, because they're all from his studio that he owns, is Studio Ghibli. Now, Miyazaki is an icon. He's a legend. The movies that he's created, the stories that he's told, have resonated for multiple generations now. My daughter grew up. We bought her like a collection of Miyazaki films, probably when she was, I want to say, like 11 or 12, and she grew up watching these movies. And every year, and I don't know if it's every theater chain, but they do have Studio Ghibli Fest in theaters. You have to pay a little bit more for those movies. I think they're like $17 or some shit like that to go see them in theaters. But every year they have like a rotating cycle of Ghibli movies, and they're all movies that people have seen. Like if you're going to Ghibli Fest to see these movies, you've seen them already, but they're just so amazing that people want to watch them over and over, and especially to see them on a big screen like that. It really is a special experience. I'm going to just name some of the movies, and I'm sure that you've seen some of these. If you haven't seen them, like I said, take the time, go look them up. And these are movies that have like redefined people's childhoods, redefined their memories, like changed the way their perception of the world. These aren't just like throwaway little cartoon movies. This is real hardcore like cinema. This is people see cartoons and they're like, oh well, they're it is cartoons. You would do yourself a disservice to believe that. Miyazaki is an artist of the highest order, and the stories that he puts forward are hard hitting, beautiful, emotional, impactful, and amazing. If you've never seen, my personal favorite is Princess Mononoke. Absolutely one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite anime. I mean, with a bullet, pretty much. It's just undefinably amazing, and the messages and the story inside that movie are amazing. And here's a little tidbit that people don't know: if you needed a reason outside of his movies to like Miyazaki, there is actually a well known feud between him and one man that you will immediately recognize his name, Harvey Weinstein, because Harvey Weinstein had the rights to distribute Princess Mononoke in America. They had done an English dub of it, and so he had the rights to distribute it, and it was like a big release at the time. And Weinstein was known, for being a giant asshole, and was going to go in and cut the movie up to make it shorter because he didn't like the fact that it was, 2.5 hour movie or whatever it was. And Miyazaki was like, no, you will not cut my movie, and stood the ground and basically like spoke out all the time and said, you will not, and he won the fight. And so while the movie isn't exactly perfect because it was an English dub, Princess Mononoke came out the way that it was supposed to come out because Miyazaki fought and won against Harvey Weinstein. So if you hate Weinstein the way I do, Miyazaki gets that extra level of respect for holding the ground for his art. But beyond Mononoke, he did My Neighbor Totoro. He did Spirited Away. He did Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo, um, Castle in Sky. We just saw a couple of years ago. We went and we saw in theaters the Boy and the Heron. Kiki's Delivery Service is one of my daughter's absolute favorites. I'm trying to think. I can't. I'm blanking on. There's so many more, and I'm blanking. The Cat Returns is one that I just remembered. There's so many movies that this Studio Ghibli has done, and Miyazaki is the heart of every single one of them. He wrote them, he created the characters, he did everything. These are all from him. Now, the reason why I'm not going to lie about this, I hadn't planned on this going into today. I was actually kind of struggling to look for somebody because there wasn't a lot. And then I saw that today was his birthday, and immediately, even though he's not, hugely quotable personally, I knew that I had to find something. I had to find something that I could quote from him. I didn't want to necessarily use lines in his movies because those characters aren't necessarily representations of him. But he did say one thing that I thought was interesting, and this won't be the quote of the day, but he did say that he finds himself in his villains in his movies more than his heroes. He finds there's more of him in the villains of his stories. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because this is just one of those hard truths about the man that people need to come to terms with. He is a perfectionist at a level that is not a good thing. Now, it's great for us as consumers of his work because everything that he puts out is the highest quality and is exactly the way that he sees it, exactly the way he wants it, at least as close as he can get. But that's just it. It's never exactly how he wanted it. He has to work with animators, he has to work with teams of people, and so because there's basically all these hands in the pot, he doesn't ever feel like he's ever able to achieve the perfect story, the perfect movie. He doesn't hate his movies. He doesn't dislike what he puts out. He just doesn't feel as if any of them ever reached the potential that they had in his mind. He's known for being a pessimist. He's known for being dour. He's known for not being somebody that's easy to work with. He's known for being, somebody that has a lot of negativity around him. And the reason why I think that is honestly kind of beautiful is because a lot of people say that kind of stuff about me, but then they see his work and they are moved deeply by it. His personal feeling of the world and of himself doesn't translate because he pours all of the reason he's got that cynicism, the reason he's got that pessimism, the reason why he is kind of dark towards himself is because he pours all of it into his work, all of the positivity, all the love, everything good that he wants and sees in this world. He pours it into his work and shares it. And so what he keeps for himself is small. One of his most famous quotes is, "Over here is the chest I keep my hopes and dreams in, and it's empty." And when you think about that, when you hear that, it's kind of sad. It kind of makes you feel like, oh man, that's not the greatest thing you want to hear. But I think that it speaks to how much of himself he gives to his work. And I think that it's a beautiful reminder that just because you think that somebody's being negative, that maybe it's because they're giving a lot. They're giving a lot of their positivity away. And so what they keep for themselves isn't always the most positive. But that doesn't mean that you should take away their voice and their ability to put what they're putting into the world out. Now, the quote of the day, I'm leaving for the very last thing I'm going to say here because I think that it's important and it's beautiful. Miyazaki once said, "Reality is for people that lack imagination." Reality is for people that lack imagination. A lot of people say that I'm a realist, and I don't disagree. But it's not because I lack imagination. It's because my imagination sees a world much like Miyazaki and is sad that it is what it is. And so I retreat. But happy birthday, Hayao Miyazaki, a legend. The rest of you, take care of yourself Take care of others. I'll talk to you soon.